Everyone is scared of him, thinking he is a professional killer who should easily extract important information through torture. However, he doesn't know what he's doing and is probably more scared than all of them. The story begins with Teddy. He is trying to become an influencer but keeps failing. He posts a bunch of different videos, but nobody watches them. He reminds me of myself. Meanwhile, somewhere in the desert, a professional killer known as the Man from Toronto is on his mission. His job is to extract information from people through torture. He is all cool and scary. The guy who pays him for the job says that they have tortured the victim for hours, but he won't speak. While sharpening his knife, he tells his victim all the things he has done to other people and gives him a scary look. So the victim immediately tells him everything. While this guy is impressed, in the meantime, Teddy is in bed with his wife Lori, and they talk about their soon-coming anniversary. Lori's friends are always picking on her for being with Teddy, as everyone knows him as a clumsy failure. He doesn't have a job, doesn't have money. To cut it short, he is basically me. But at least he's trying, as he sets up a romantic trip. He even rented a cabin for them to spend a couple of days. However, due to a low toner on the printer, he can't tell her the location since he doesn't know it himself. The next day, Teddy goes to the gym to offer his friend Marty a business idea. But Marty is very angry because Teddy had only one job and managed to screw it up. He printed gym advertising flyers but didn't include a phone number or even an address. Teddy offers Marty that they should create a no-contact box, where people could box in the same way, but without anyone getting hit or hurt. Marty is in shock. He loves Teddy but tells him to stop coming here as he always screws up things. Teddy is sad because helping Marty was his only source of income. Meanwhile, the Man from Toronto is returning home. While preparing breakfast, his phone rings. The handler offers him a new job. This job is the hardest they've had, so they offer him $2 million to extract some important information, and he immediately accepts. While Teddy drops off Lori at the spa center, where she can have a pedicure, hair treatment, and even a massage, he goes to find and set up the cabin for them. He has trouble reading the number on the paper due to the low toner situation, and thinks he has found the right cabin. However, as you might guess, he ends up at the cabin where they are waiting for the Man from Toronto. When he picks up his stuff, the man sees him with a knife and thinks he is the Man from Toronto. He immediately takes a picture to show off that he met the guy. Teddy swings his knife and asks if he is at the right place, and the man welcomes him inside. Teddy goes to the bathroom while the man looks at his stuff. He thinks Teddy will use these items to extract information. The man takes him to the basement. Upon realizing he is in the wrong place, Teddy tries to leave, but the man tells him to finish his job first. Teddy starts begging the hostage to tell them whatever they need and whispers that he is more scared than him, but hostage won't tell them anything. Teddy immediately gets into character, pretending to be the Man from Toronto. He threatens the hostage, saying he will take out his eyes using his thumbs. Teddy and the man are both scared, and the hostage gives out all the information needed. Teddy then tells him, "Let me get myself together." Suddenly, a flashbang is dropped into the basement, and the FBI storms the house, starting to shoot at everyone. Teddy somehow survives, and the FBI apprehends him. He is interrogated by two agents who are smart enough to tell he is not the Man from Toronto, as his face is not scary at all. They need the Man from Toronto to get them to Colonel Marin, who attempted to overthrow the government last year and is a very dangerous man. However, Marin and his wife, Daniela, managed to escape, and they have been looking for them ever since. They want Teddy to continue pretending to be the Man from Toronto and get close to Marin so they can arrest him. He tells them he is just on vacation with his wife, but they inform him that Agent Santoro will keep company to his wife while he works for them. Teddy disagrees, but they tell him she will be in good hands, which he answers he doesn't want her in Santoro's hands, and asks why it can't be his ugly ass. Since there is no arguing with the FBI, Teddy lies to Lori, saying he was called back to work at the gym and that he paid for a professional escort for her, with Santoro waiting for her. Teddy might even become a dad by the end of all this. In the meantime, the handler informs the Man from Toronto that someone has stolen his identity and gives him all of Teddy's information. As he looks at Teddy's fitness videos, he is embarrassed that they confused him with this guy. He then tracks Teddy down after the agents bring him to meet with Daniela, but they end up taking him with them. Teddy is scared and hopes the agents will save him. Meanwhile, Toronto forces one of the agents to follow them. They put Teddy on a plane, thinking he is the Man from Toronto, and head to Puerto Rico. Toronto infiltrates the plane and tells everyone that he can't believe they thought Teddy was the Man from Toronto. However, everyone is confused now, as Teddy claims he is the real Man from Toronto and this guy is an imposter. Toronto then proves who the real Man from Toronto is. A fight erupts, and Toronto single-handedly kills everyone on the plane, while Teddy is literally doing everything he can to avoid surviving. Toronto ends up saving him and lands the plane. He is already annoyed by Teddy's constant yapping, and tells him they need to find a man named Mr. Green, whom Teddy needs to bring to Marin, because they've already seen Teddy's photo and already think he is the man from Toronto. Teddy starts yapping again as the plane explodes, and he screams like a girl. The scene shifts to a golf course, where we are introduced to another professional assassin known as the Man from Miami. He has a hitman job to complete and finishes it, then gets a call from the handler. She tells him to fix the mess with Toronto, while he leaves no witnesses. Meanwhile, the duo arrives at the building where they should find Mr. Green. Toronto gives Teddy some advice on how to be scary and look more like him and threatens him that if he fails the mission, he's going to do some ugly stuff to him. And Teddy says he'd prefer that he didn't do anything to him. And after Toronto says he's just joking, Teddy tells him that he loves him. He is brought into a room while Toronto talks to him via an earpiece. 4 men are tied up, and Teddy needs to figure out which one is Mr. Green. Upon opening the bag with knives, he drops them, and I think Toronto wants to commit suicide. Teddy starts asking them which one is Mr. Green, but they all say they are not. He accidentally cuts one man right on the eye. As the man starts crying, Teddy says, "Shut up, it's just a scratch." But when the man opens his eye, Teddy wants to throw up, and Toronto tells him to swallow it. Teddy ends up throwing up on him and the other man, who then admits he is Mr. Green. Everyone is amazed, thinking this was all part of a planned tactic. However, they notice Teddy's earpiece and prepare to kill him, but Toronto steps in and saves his life once again. Toronto needs Mr. Green's fingerprint for Colonel Marin, as he wants to activate a bomb on the Venezuelan government. He then cuts Mr. Green's thumb and puts it in a bag of chips. The Man from Miami finds them, performs some Bruce Lee moves, and throws Teddy off the ledge. Teddy grabs onto some decoration and cries that he's about to die. Toronto and Miami are shooting at each other while clumsy Teddy is trying to die again. As Miami tries to get the bag with the thumb, Teddy falls again, right on Miami's head, and Toronto knocks him out. He then informs the handler about the situation and everything that happened, unaware that she sent the Man from Miami to kill him. After the conversation ends, Teddy tells Toronto that she is lying to him, as he does it all the time, and it could be heard in her voice. The duo is on their way to Washington, D.C., and Toronto tells Teddy that his gym ads on YouTube are making him look stupid. "This is my face when you don't subscribe." When they arrive, Teddy contacts his wife, and they set up a meeting at a fancy restaurant. He brings Toronto with him, as his wife will also bring her friend. Teddy starts teaching Toronto social skills, as Toronto is scared because he has never talked to a woman. They meet with Lori and her friend Anne. Roles are reversed. Teddy is embarrassed now. Toronto and Anne start dancing, if you can call this a dance. Meanwhile, Agent Santoro is ready to show them who is real man. Ups, maybe next time. But Teddy notices the Man from Miami, and literally has to drag Toronto away, as he is enjoying himself too much. Miami catches up, and the two start fighting. Toronto wouldn't survive a second without Teddy's help. While Teddy is trying to help, he accidentally shoots Toronto in the leg. Miami takes the thumb and leaves. The duo then steals a cop car to catch Miami since he took the thumb. On the way, they bond, and Toronto tells Teddy about a mission where he needed to kill a guy because he had gambling debts to the wrong people. However, when he noticed a child watching, he spared the man's life, and the man later went on a murdering rampage and killed a bunch of innocent people. Toronto also tells him that after he finishes this job, he will open a restaurant and stop hurting people. At the hotel, Marin and Daniela meet with the handler and Miami. They needed the thumb to activate a bomb to kill the Venezuelan president. Teddy shows up and pretends to be Toronto, even though the handler convinces Marin that it's not him and that this is real Man from Toronto, but Teddy tells them that that's just his personal driver. He really got into a role, and Toronto is proud of him. The FBI shows up and shooting starts. The handler and Miami escape while Toronto steals the money and also escapes. The FBI takes Teddy out of this and lets him go home. However, when he arrives, he can't find Lori. She left him a message saying that she is going to her mom's house since he has been gone for days and she doesn't know what is going on with him. Meanwhile, the handler begins contacting every available assassin to go after Teddy in Toronto. The next day, Teddy gets a message that Lori will be at a train station, so he rushes there before the train leaves with her. But Miami finds Teddy and tries to kill him. Toronto shows up and saves his life for the 3rd time, saying that he didn't like the idea of Teddy dying. They are attacked by the Man from Moscow, the Man from Tokyo, and the Man from Tacoma. They end up fighting in Teddy's old gym, and Teddy actually pulls off some good moves. This time he is actually trying to survive. While Toronto fights with 3 men at once, Teddy starts performing his no-contact box routine and ends up with yes-contact move. Then Toronto performs a Captain America move while Teddy embarrasses himself again. The fight is taken outside just before Miami shows up again and kills the Man from Tacoma. Right before Miami can kill Toronto, Teddy punches him and knocks him out, but ends up breaking his hand. Better if he sticks to no-contact box. The handler shows up to finish the job herself. They end up in a chocolate factory, where Teddy pulls a lever and the handler drops into the burning hot chocolate. And bro comments that it smells nice. As she screams in pain, Teddy begs her to stop and just die. Now the most dangerous man of them all arrives. Nah, I'm just kidding. Toronto gives Teddy his car to catch up with Lori, but warns him that he will kill him if he even scratches the car. On his way, he almost killed an old lady, parked the car right on the train tracks, and ran to Lori to apologize, admitting everything that has happened. She forgives him just as Toronto's car gets hit by a train, causing the $2 million from the trunk to fly away. Teddy then gets hit by people running towards money. 1 year later, Teddy and Lori are eating in Toronto's restaurant, and he is dating Anne. Toronto tells Teddy that he still wants the money for the car, and Teddy promises he will pay him eventually. Teddy's no-contact box business has taken off, and as he is live streaming, Toronto calls him midstream and threatens him again, wanting to kill him for destroying his car. Teddy pretends to be brave because of the stream and tells him to come and try, but then Toronto informs him he is just outside the gym, and that's where the film ends. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video. Thanks for watching.